What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Vintage Vibes. Today we are going to recreate this image that I saw from one of the most iconic 80s bands, Wham. That's right, Wham. Stick with me, I'm going to show you how we do it. I was kind of going through a bunch of pictures looking for some inspiration on the internet. Saw this picture and I was like, you know what, it'd be really dope to recreate this image from Wham using Threshold. So let me show you how we did it and my little twist on it. All right, we jump into my computer. So I went ahead and grabbed this image. It's not the exact image that was used in the reference on the right. That's all right. I wanted to kind of put my own little twist on things. We're gonna come over here to image adjustments, and we're gonna come down to threshold. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the slider to the right. What we're trying to do is gain as little shadows as possible before we start coloring it, basically. And I'm also gonna change things up just a smidge. So we're gonna go ahead, I think right about there is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna come down to select, and we're gonna come to color range. I wanna make sure your slider is all the way over to 200, and we're gonna select all the white pixels, right? So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna grab these, we're gonna say okay. And now, what I'm thinking we're gonna do is let's go ahead and maybe use the yellow, right? So we're gonna double click. Oh, okay, so I already messed up. I know I already messed up. How do I already know I messed up? Because my smart objects are not there, right? So let's double back. First thing I'm gonna do, make this a smart object. By making this picture a smart object, now all of my filters that I use are also gonna be smart filters. We're gonna go to image, adjustments, down to threshold. We're gonna move this slider over so where we don't have a lot of shadows. It's gonna make a little more sense here in a little bit. So I want as few shadows as possible. So let me go ahead, I think right about there is good. The reason why I want as few shadows as possible, because I'm going to use shadows, mids, and highlights when I color this. So now that we've done this, as you can see down here, my threshold, my smart filters are there. So now we're going to come over to select. I'm going to go down to color range, and again, make sure your slider is all the way over to 200. We're going to select all the white pixels. Now we're going to add a layer mask. Double click on our layer. Going to come over to color overlay, and I'm thinking let's try the yellow. See what the yellow looks like. That's not bad. We'll go with it. So we're going to do the yellow. Let me go ahead and duplicate this layer. Now delete this layer mask because we're going to make our own layer mask again. It'll make sense here in a little bit. We're going to delete that. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the color overlay. Double click on our threshold, and now we're going to move this over just a smidge so that we have some midtones right about there. Click on that, select, come down to color range again. We're going to select the white again. Okay, and now we're going to throw another layer mask on. You see how already it looks pretty dope, but we're going to do one more layer. So we are going to select our layer mask, double click. We're going to go to color overlay. This time we're going to let's do the blue. We're going to select that blue. No, I don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it. So let's see what the pink looks like. That's not bad. But what we'll do is we'll stay in the vein that we were in with the yellows. That white actually doesn't look too bad. The white actually looks pretty cool. So let's try this again. We'll come over here, color overlay, come down to our yellow, and we'll try to stay in that vein. Actually, to be honest, I kind of like the yellow or in the white. That's actually not bad. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna stick with that. I think we're just gonna stick with the two colors and go from there. So now that we have that, this actually looks pretty dope to me. I went ahead and brought in some other elements that I'm gonna use. We're gonna do the circle here. We're gonna go down to our ellipsis tool. We're gonna go ahead and draw a nice little circle. Our circle, right about there. I brought in this other element that I have that I thought would be pretty dope to have. And actually, wow, that fits pretty good. Cool, so I've got my ellipsis, I've got my element. So I'm gonna take these two, I'm gonna grab actually all of my layers for my pictures, I'm gonna put those in a group. I'm gonna name our group photo. And now I'm gonna grab these two. I'm gonna drop this under. And what I'm going to do, let's go to our ellipsis. We're gonna change the color of our ellipsis. This is the part that always kind of gets me, is having these colors and being decisive on what our colors are. Because I could go for this blue, and the blue might look a little better. Yeah, the blue looks a lot better. Okay, yeah, we'll go with the blue. I'll clean this up a little bit later, and I'll show you what that looks like. But right now, we're just gonna go with this. And then, let's go ahead and bring in this other element, which is my letters. We'll bring this down and then size this up. So, like this. And then we'll change these colors up just a smidge. So we'll double click on this layer. And we'll bring up this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change. Let's change our colors. Kind of wanted to stick as close as possible to the original, but the more I do stuff, the more I put my own kind of little twist on things, and it kind of becomes mine. I guess that's okay. And then we'll change the drop shadow from this green. Let's see what that looks like. That's not bad. We'll run with that. Actually, once again, I changed my mind. That's what we'll do. We'll do this orange, and then we'll come back here to this color overlay, and we'll do the blue. Kind of dope. We'll do that. Kind of digging that. For the most part, everything is pretty much done. But now we're gonna go ahead and clean up the photo, and then we'll clean up some of the background here. So fast forward at this time, and I'll be right back. All right, so there we go. My rendition on something I saw on the internet the other day, and I thought, you know what? I haven't done anything on one of the, by far, one of the 80s best bands that there was back in the day. R.I.P. George Michael. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Remember, dream, create, repeat. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.